This is day 3 of Commit, 30 Days of Yoga. Today's practice is all about the wrists and the hands, improving mobility and strength. If you have any wrist pain or a past injury, be careful when applying pressure down into the wrists or hands today. Listen to your body and be sure to not overdo it. Otherwise, enjoy. Please like this video and subscribe. Feel free to leave me a comment below. And be sure to stick around to the end of the video where we break down one of the movements from today's practice.
Begin seated in easy pose. Get long through the back and neck, chest up, shoulder blades down and back. Bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra at your heart, connecting the palms and pressing through your fingertips. You can slightly nod the chin to get longer through the back of the neck. Take the time here to deepen your breath. Next, we're going to go into some Mr. Burns hand movements. Widen your hands now, spreading the fingers. Press firmly through the fingertips, rolling onto the very tips with those of the opposite hand, separating the palms and return. Keep it going, creating movement through the hands. Now let's make fists with our thumbs laying across the nails of the fingers. Flick the fingers out and repeat. Last one. Now tuck those thumbs inside your fists, hands facing each other. Slightly tilt the hands down to stretch the base of the thumbs, extending to the wrists, and hold. Good. Releasing the thumbs to the tops of the fingers now. Still making fists, palms facing up. Curl the hands up, thumbs reaching towards your wrists, and extend. Back and forth, moving at your own pace. Last one, sending those fists around in circles now, one way. Then the other. Shake it out. Arms out ahead of you, fingers pointing up, then down, up, then down. Keep it going. still with the same movements, but now starting on the right side, use your opposite hand to deepen those stretches. Over to the left. Shake it out. Next, taking your thumb to index fingers on both hands, touch thumb to each finger one after the other, then back. Move back and forth, trying to maintain a steady rhythm and going as quickly as you can without skipping fingers. Open those hands up wide and return to fists, thumbs out. Open the hand one finger at a time, beginning with the thumb on each hand. Then close one finger at a time, starting with the pinkies. Now we're going to squeeze those fists super tight, then spread the hands out as wide as we can, moving with a strong breath. Shake it out, and then make your way to a tabletop position with your wrists stacked under your shoulders, fingers spread wide, fingertips pressing down. Begin to rock the body front to back, working the wrists, moving as much as you want and at your own pace. If your wrists are sore, you might want to move a little slower than I am. Rocking side to side now. To circles one way, then the other. Turn the hands, fingers pointing towards your knees, as much as you can. The movement might be a little smaller here, front to back, or maybe you're just holding lightly. If you're rocking, try to move further and further back with each rock, maybe even coming to sit on your heels to deepen the stretch. Next, very carefully turning onto the tops of the hands, holding here or finding the smallest of movements. Move carefully. If you prefer, you can simply hold a tabletop position with a bit of a rock. Release carefully, curl the toes under, sitting back on the heels as you shake out the wrists. Clasp hands and draw figure eights. Back to tabletop, prop your hands up onto your fingertips, imagining that there's a tennis ball in the center of your palms. Lean forward, applying a bit of pressure into the fingertips as you hold the hands and wrists strong. Lean back, curl the toes under, coming forward again on your fingertips. See if you can hover the knees in this position. And lower. Shake it out. Make your way to a downward facing dog, walking out the heels if you like, pressing the front of the mat away from you with your hands. Walk the hands back towards your feet to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlace your fingers, then raise your arms up high, palms turned up towards the sky. You can gaze forward or up. Get long here. Release the fingers and exhale to a forward fold. We're going to place our hands palms facing up under our feet in a gorilla pose. Toes should be touching our wrists as we lightly lean the body forward, putting weight into the front of our feet. Release the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment to adjust as needed. We're going into eagle pose. Crossing your left leg over the right, trying to wrap the left foot behind the right calf if you can. Right arm wraps over the left as we try to touch the palms together. Keep the upper arms parallel to the mat, shoulder blades wide. To modify, simply cross the legs and arms without the wrap. And release. To the other side, wrap the right leg over and around the left. Left arm over right. And release. Now let's make fists with both hands and punch them up high. Then spread the fingers wide as we sweep the arms and body down. Bend through the hips and knees, being careful not to strike the ground. Last one. Step your feet as wide as your mat, toes turned out and lower to a garland pose. Send that tailbone down, getting long through the back, chest lifted. Palms together, pressing through the hands, elbows helping to widen the legs. Lower to a comfortable seated position, hands together at your heart. Slowly lower and lift the hands, keeping them together. Lower just until your palms begin to split apart, trying as much as possible to keep them together. Move with your breath. Release the hands, lightly shake out the wrists, then hands to your knees or in your lap as we take a few deep breaths to finish up.
I want to talk about our hand position that is best practice to apply to any yoga pose where weight is bearing down into the hands or wrists. First thing you want to do is spread those fingers as wide as possible. The next thing you're going to do is press firmly through each fingertip and through the heel of the palm. And what that is going to do is going to create a space, a pocket of air in the center of your palm that's not connecting down to the mat, so that all of the pressure being sent down into your wrist is being distributed evenly among the hand, relieving that pressure. This applies to poses such as tabletop pose, plank, side plank, downward facing dog, again, any pose where we're bearing weight down. And if you want to try and see the difference, you can leave your hand just loose, place it down, and then send your weight forward and see how all of your weight is being pushed down into the wrist and there's some strain there. As opposed to our best practice, which is that widening that grip, widening your base, your connection to the earth, pressing through the fingertips, pressing through the heel of the hands, and you'll notice there's so much less pressure into the wrists here. And so I want you to get comfortable with that. At first, you might have to remind yourself every time you get into that position, but eventually with practice, it's going to become second nature.